We gotta get the clips. We gotta plug the tournament.
Yes, we do. What's going on, people? If you're wondering why we're midway through a podcast, it's because we chose to record instead of stream, which introduced
it's gone
several
well.
problems. But at least we figured out 15 minutes in. Long and short of it is
Terry's here.
Terry's here. CMYK are the second best team at Fanboy because we have two teams that are filled with tops. Sakuyamon back-to-back top something. Ragnar is gatekeeping as promised.
Even more so than anyone could have ever dreamed. It's
And
beautiful.
we have Irish players at the EX6 winner case that we're showing, and London players aren't there. So London players, this is your call out to come get products. Or something.
Jamie, where are my cards, Jamie? Jamie, you sent the cards, Jamie, right? And they're supposed to arrive. I'm going to set Conquest Collectibles on fire if my cards don't arrive, Jamie.
Yeah, he is going to be also at the winner case, so you can light him up in person.
I might have to. Bro, I need these ults. I need them before BT17.
Yeah, what was the other thing? We also said that Ragnar and like there are some cards
the mats
that just,
if we want to leak those again.
Yeah, there are some cards that just do not have representation in the game, and Ragnar is one of them. There's like 5 real pieces of art of him. Now there's the coolest one. Yeah, come first.
He looks tight.
Or come second and get your 7 Demon Lords, or scalp your local Mastermon player by coming in top 4. There'll be 2 of these available. Yeah, so come to our winner case. It's not just Digimon product. We wanted to support people with not just come first, get a mat. Come top 4 and get a mat. It's cool. The first time we did this, it went better.
I like that that's the one where we're going to have 2 of this mat, because it's like there's like 2 Digimon on it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's kind of 3.
But that means we should have 7 of the Demon Lord mats.
Okay, you know, maybe on like the 10th case split, when Misplay for Game LLC is,
Like me clocking in for my shift to make a podcast that we record half of.
We become the TAC or the OPE of Manchester.
Yeah, that's what
that's a small audience, but I'm here for it.
Shout out to OP as well. They're doing a Glasgow regional. And also, if you want to play best of 3 Digimon in the UK, because that is now something we actually have to put as an asterisk, come to our winner case, because unlike the Glasgow regional, it is best of 3. And
I got cooked by a YouTube short. It was kind of funny.
Cooked. I had to, that episode hasn't even come out yet, so that short was just there because it was relevant.
You just didn't want it enough.
It's funny because like at first I was like, man, best of 1, that's so stinky. But then I'm like, best of 1, I can play like something that like donkey high rolls someone, something that like doesn't give enough people time to adapt, keep them on their toes. Best of 1, quick game, go on, quick nice lunch break every time. Well, not lunch break, but like long breaks. Well, to be fair, it's 35-minute rounds, so how long are the breaks?
If you kill them in
you'll
10,
want it to second every single time.
Yeah, but this is going to be Marcio on Red Hybrid. He's going to be like, if half of my Takuyas are in security and they hit them, look.
If you're playing second at a best of 1 event, like you need to reconsider your deck choices for the event, because why would you ever play second on a best of 1 unless you're exactly Pete?
Yeah,
he kind of had it like that.
We were all like, best of 1, security control. There's no way you'll get farmed. Wins World.
Looking forward to seeing TJ in top 8 on SetCon.
That would be an absolute Omega banger, by the way.
Yeah, but Sakuyamon, not quite SetCon. They do be casting spells, but a lot of them only cost 2 or more, and then they get a refund of 1 and then draw 1.
Yeah, so for the context of this actual image, this is a like glimmer sneak peek from Thai champion Zario, shoutouts, and world's contender, really great player, blah blah blah. They have been kind of like drip feeding information about this like mythical Sakuyamon core that they've got that keeps winning everything over there. And I'm very excited about it. Obviously, some face down sleeves, so it's not been fully revealed. They've talked about how they were trying to save it for larger international events or qualifying events and stuff like that. So
are the Evo Cups aren't qualifying events in Japan, right?
That's correct. They are. I do feel for the Eastern players on this one, actually. The Evo Cups this time for them are basically just catching us up on like old Evo Cup stuff we got that they didn't. So their entire Evo Cup line is like for a lot of the different Southeast Asian countries, it's probably the biggest tournament of a specific format. Like certainly back in BT18, sorry, in EX7, but they basically just have this until BT18/BT19 regionals start up again. So
I'm gonna add a quick disclaimer to everyone but Terry that this deck is unplayable because you don't get scrambles and you don't get maid mode. So while you can play Sakuya, the deck lost its like biggest niche.
mm-hmm.
But if you're exactly Terry, you know, highest placing Sakuyamon at every event, then congratulations. Also, the Sakuyamon Masterclass is definitely in the works.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Terry?
I mean, if people actually want it, as highest placing Sakuyamon player, I feel like I have a right to do it, but we'll see. I think I mean, from the cards I can also see from that list, I think it's pretty interesting so far, like, from what I can gather. So the fact they're playing 4 of the BT17 QB is quite nice, especially if they are only playing the BT17 Rika, because typically I imagine if you're going to be continuously bio-merging with it, you can always reset that. You can always like reset the next one, which is quite cool. The plug-in ratios are like seem fine to me. I guess
it's possible
again,
that some of the face-down cards are
potentially like more tech options.
I have
so
heard
far,
whispers of the white plugin seeing occasional play again, which stresses me out in deep, sad ways.
Look,
Turn skip the opponent.
Turn skipping, sometimes a 3K comes up, you're like, your guys are still base like 11 because they've chosen not to give you DP for reasons. I mean, barrier, sure, but
yeah. Don't you also have like recharge plugin as well to abuse?
Yeah, there's definitely a few options. So like, yeah, I can't wait till the full list is revealed, but it seems fine. Like, it's on again because we can't see everything, but it feels like slightly greedier ratios, like we had to do for Salford that one time.
Yeah, which I guess you can do if TK is gonna check top 5 for like, my one of its insecurity. Lol, not anymore.
He still has the four trainings. I imagine we'll get the scramble. I imagine there'll be scrambles in there somewhere in that face down.
Oh yeah, probably.
Pause plugin is also incredible against a lot of the hybrid decks that basically just want to try and make the first body and then threaten you with it. Pause plugin to turn off the blast evolving. Like, people are not particularly caught up on a couple of the like meta trends of BT18. There's a certain purple hybrid deck that goes around doing absolutely nightmarish stuff to people right now because it's purple yellow. Yeah, we're gonna go over Raven's list. That's on here today. But there are like much more like generic, like applicable kind of toolbox ones, things like Venusmon, purple hybrid, and stuff like that are really splashable. But golly, yeah. So the pause plugin, just nutso, right?
Definitely a good card.
But that's yeah, exactly. But I think that wraps up the Sakuyamon stuff. We'll get right into, I think, the big news of the week. So I'll go ahead and drop the tweet in our chat as I do. So we got to talk about Slicks. We talked about him almost like a month ago today, for getting second place at the, gosh, what was the last one he played? I can't remember. That sucks. He got. It might have been Singapore. Oh yeah, it must have been Singapore. Yeah, because he got second behind. It was second on the green Numemon. The list is here. It's been revamped. It's been punched up, and
it lost to Doraluga, right?
That's right. It lost to Dexteruga. So it has now finally clinched the win, and it has taken first place. A couple things to go over because I know a lot of people have talked about Numemon. It is surprisingly whereas BT17 and EX7 kind of moved the format in a way that was a little bit more unfriendly towards this deck. It is uniquely positioned to do quite well against hybrids because hybrids supplant their no off turns by using tamer cards, and this deck just does not have off turns. So it gets to play in really distinct ways that can stop people just in their tracks. And additionally to that, the power of Shadow Seraphim on Ace is like, it's a thing people know about. He's kind of Vikemon on crack. It's a degenerate nightmare card. It's blast timing, black over black and yellow 5s, so everything you'd ever play in Numemon. And he is Digivolve 3. So he takes all of the like pieces of the hybrid that swings and dumps them back into a tamer card. So unless the decks are on tools to out tamer card matchups like that, or more specifically like ways to interact with like preventing blast DNA, which is not something we're seeing a ton of in hybrid decks, this card is fantastic. And then obviously the blocker 5k shrink is very, very strong. So.
Yeah,
It's
it being
also
targeted shrink is kind of nice because obviously Etavalk is, does the -5, but the more relevant thing is the Digivolve to like actually smoke something before.
The most important thing to me is the fact that like the Nume decks, I think like Numemon is a deck that I think until something gets done about exactly Ukomon, the format is going to always revolve around like Nume Uko in some capacity because it is like the benchmark fastest deck in the game.
Also, Black has the best
felt-
blood.
Yeah, it felt like some stuff had caught up to it at the end of EX7. Like Mother D Reaper Shoto stuff was really hurting Numemon, but like as was the advent of a very powerful blue hybrid or Gabumon aggro that had a lot of freeze to stop the tamers doing their stuff because so much of this deck's memory is in Louis and in the Digimon Emperor. So having having like strategies that you can implement to hurt that is probably like, again, I'm not going to pretend I have the metagame breakdown of somebody like Slicks who has taken back-to-back top 2s at the Grand Asia Opens. It's just a ridiculous record. I think it's, if not a contender for like the most dominant player globally right now, this is certainly up there. But part of that metagame adaptation comes in things like returning to mem setters in this deck. So the mat comes up for stuff like that.
I think
too.
the mat is sort of like looking back at like English format because I think Hoang was the one that popularized the one of mat.
Yeah.
However, what I was going to say is that typically you see, Enemon Valkyrie is like a thing that people have brought up a discussion about potential to
choice restriction.
Because
or
it is
pair restrictions they call them.
Yeah, choice is fine, I think, or pair. But it is an unfair interaction, and you're effectively remoting your opponent's thing. And the Enemon forcing combat is particularly good, obviously because like it works with the Valkyrie, so you get a lot bigger shrinks. However, the downside is that you don't get to pivot into what I think is like Numemon, one of Numemon's like strongest tool that they have currently, which is the Quartz. However, the Shadow Seraphie is half black, and because it has keyword blocker, instead of you doing -5k to one thing, you're effectively full clearing one thing with the Shadow Seraphie. And then if that goes unchecked, you can always pivot into the Quartz because it is half black. You have a white board going to Quartz. You're probably swinging for game. By the time that you get your Quartz established, or you have a very, very good out to things like the Dorugora deck. Like that's a card that saw a rise in popularity as sort of like a countermeasure to Dorugora, because Dorugora tends to like unsuspend through killing things or like well, it's mostly like killing things, but a lot of their damage is like I'll Alliance and then I'll unsuspend and then I'll Alliance again. So Quartz denies those kinds of plays.
Shadow Seraphie also is like distinctly good at punishing exactly that card because of like any increment of Digivolve 1 is really bad against Dorugoramon, and any increment of Digivolve 2 or 3 is incredible. It is a game-winning effect because if you take them off the float from grave, it's unbelievable. It's
also the fact that you get what was I going to say? You get sort of out to the hybrid decks as well. Like Quartz, it demands the hybrid decks to immediately answer it. And there's only really a few that can do it. Like Emperor Greymon is one of them, but like I think the Ancient can somewhat check it.
The Susanoo Ace is pretty good in that situation.
Yeah,
but that requires a lot more setup. And if Numemon is fast, you win.
Also, the fact that the Nume deck gets to pivot into notice how they don't play Chumon anymore, and instead they play the very specific it's like
it's
Kokua.
It's Kokua, but he's for ancients, right?
Yes, he's for anything that wants to warp.
Yeah, so
well, it's not anything. This is I had to have this conversation with somebody the other day. It is specifically ignoring Digivolution requirements. It's not one of the cards that interacts with this in really stupid ways, I believe, is the new 5s for hybrids. Because they evolve as though the tamer is treated as a level 4, which is not ignoring requirements. So there is a small pool of warp cards that this cooks, and some of those are the ancient promos.
Yeah. This card was popularized all the way back in BT12 in Dark Knight Mon as like a counter to BLs.
Yeah.
We were running
Good
it in
luck,
Sukamon
Impmon.
as well to take down Bills as well. Just really slowed it down. So it's cool to see that and Shadow Seraphi like make their way back into black yellow piles at the same time again.
Shadow Seraphi is a lot of things. I have some thoughts on whether or not he could be called cool right now, but we'll find out down the line.
Digivolve
crazy.
Shrink is the best combo.
Yeah.
He's
It is.
very, very,
Very
very,
broken.
very broken.
He
He's
is,
just.
but look how cool he looks when he's doing it.
The one thing I'll give this
Shadow
card is
Wizard money
at
gang.
least he isn't a vaccine like the rest of the angels. So
Yeah.
we'll give him that. But that's Slicks's top. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I can find the matchups for you guys, but one thing I think that is really notable when you go through this is I hadn't seen a tournament like it in a little while. Slicks beat rank 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9 all the way through Swiss, which I believe is also a contender for just about the most stacked tournament run I've ever seen.
Yeah, bro was
One
like,
of his
it doesn't matter
results-
who you are, I'm him.
Yeah, so great run to Slicks.
That is very cool.
Those
but
Unker guys popping off really hard.
One thing to note about that, just to put an asterisk on it from like a data
Mhm.
point of view, is obviously your losses, if you lose to someone and they go on and win the whole thing, your resistances are very, very good. So
course.
all of his opponents just doing well as he's rising to the top, it makes sense that they would be close to the top thanks to his resistances. Also, because it was a best of one, you don't have 2-1, 2-0 tiebreakers. It's just in like Asia, the way they do it is you get 1 point for winning in your best of one, and if you go to a tie, it's counted as a loss for both of you. There's no draws or anything that could potentially like cause a little bit of fluctuation in how his opponents place. If they were just winning their games that weren't versus him, they were gonna be near the top anyway, because it's either 1 or 0. Those are your only results. A loss and a draw are the same thing. So it makes sense that all of his opponents end up single digits if, you know, they only lose to him and maybe one other person, because there's not that big a point swing in the rounds they play.
For sure.
Also, was it yesterday's event that he won, or was it the one before? Because there was Malaysia.
It was yesterday's.
Okay,
It
yesterday's
was the 14th.
one.
I did
The
math.
slight caveat as well: the level of play was noticeably lower than the weeks before.
Yeah,
Because
some of the stream games were rough.
a lot of the stream games were rough, and a lot of players have said that it was their first big event. So obviously still a big event, and you know, a win is a win. It's still a fantastic result, and like we said, his resistances were fantastic. Everyone that he played then went on to play well. But just in general, like the level of play was lower compared to the week before, where we're seeing another crazy tournament. But that was like all Imperial, man. I was just going through every single match. I'm just watching Demi V get hatched every turn. I'm like, no.
I saw a lot of Ancient Gurumon, man. I have thoughts on that deck and card, but hey, that's for another episode. I ain't gonna be the guy that leaks nothing.
Friday's episode.
I want to go over one more thing from the Indonesian Grand Asian Open. It's a deck from hell, and we're going to talk about it a couple times if I can fit it all in on the episode today. This is Raven's Purple Hybrid.
Okay.
This got 24th, and it's probably the lowest I've managed to find. I'm grateful for the best of one format for basically incentivizing people to really layer in. This is a different way to build this deck. We're going to talk about it. Purple Hybrid is
a very cool deck.
Yeah, it's very cool. But part of what is so, I'll just say, it's frustrating to a lot of people, because the thing with Purple Hybrid is
it has terrible rookies.
It has terrible rookies. And so you can cheat that by not caring, or you can cheat that by stealing good ones. And we're going to go over two versions. So let's go over Ravens first, because obviously a higher placement, really interesting. This is, for all intents and purposes, a rookie-less pile, because we're playing Mother D Reaper Shoto Kazuma. It's a really important distinction. You've got like Bokomons in here, but not like people used it for that anyway. But the whole intent, if you've seen the show, you heard about this already. Shoto gives blocker and piercing by suspending himself at the end of the turn to any one of your Digimon, and if it's a Vortex Warrior, he unsuspends the Digimon. Mother D Reaper, unaffected by all things your opponent does. So you just make a giant 14k blocker. It's a very foolproof way to create a defensive archetype kind of out of nowhere. It's a really low investment package. And Shoto isn't really even a dead card. That's something I got a comment about, is when we talked about it last time, is it's like, well, surely it's not that good to just play a green tamer. Like I know Heaven's Judgment is broken, but like give me a break. But it's he's passive memory gain for every turn your opponent is on the board. And what are they going to do? Clear the board by swinging into your 15k blocker? Like the problem is it's a catch-22.
This is
the deck is very strong.
This is a cool build of Purple Hybrid. I think some more people are catching on to the idea of using like AG Gora as like your low end, top end for Purple Hybrid. I have access to, you know, I've been on some Discord servers. I've been doing some research. I know a few people that cook Purple Hybrid, so I have insider info on something that I think exactly Terry is going to be playing. Now, I will not leak that sauce. It's very funny.
If it ain't a result, we don't put it on the news.
Exactly. So all I'm going to say,
I'll do it for you in BT18. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Huge.
BT18, Terry's going to be on some sauce that I passed to him. If you know Terry, it's like two of Terry's favorite things. It's a really funny list. And, you know, but actually talking about Purple Hybrid, I think Purple Hybrid has sort of like two modes where you have like the Valdemon or whatever it's called.
Velgar.
Velgra and Duskmon, and then the like dual color
right.
stuff,
you
right?
have like the Koichi like variant of the deck where it's more like, you know, you lean in more on like the Rihi, and then like it is yellow, so you can do some funny stuff with it, or you lean more into the Velgamon like almost like male aspect. But either way, like your level 6s for Purple Hybrid are all kind of stinky and doo-doo, and they don't really do anything. So you can kind of play whatever. That's why we've seen people play like Grand Quagga Ace, because like it's good in the hybrid matchup, and
it accelerates your checks. I mean,
real ones know that Plutomon is that guy.
Oh, if you thought Plutomon was that guy, what TC the one I just dropped? Because I'm not going to get a better opportunity to talk about it. This has been making the rounds. If you're online enough that you see it too. Oh, that resolution sucks. My bad. RSRS is a YouTube channel. They do a lot of interesting deck building, but the thing is, they've got quite a few tops in the larger Japan scene. And I want to go over this because there's a couple interactions here that if you look at this, you're going to go, what in the hell is going on? And I'm going to answer the question in 2 words. Purple Hybrid tagged card. So the Duskmon, the Velgramon, and the actual level 4 hybrids are wizards. So
yeah.
I and Mako can find them all. It finds every stop point on this entire archetype. In tandem, like Marcia said, if you want to lean into the mill stuff, Duskmon and Velgramon work together to do that. It's very powerful.
Yeah, this is literally the mill show.
Yeah, and if you're going to do that, you may as well partner up with the best mill deck in the game. This has had occasional success now. Like Marcia had mentioned, bad rookies are something you can substitute in the archetypes right now. Ukomon does a lot to do that. But man, if my board gets cleared on Purple Hybrid, I might just warp into a Beelzemon. I might just give it a go. See what happens.
You generally don't care. Like Purple Hybrid is just like, it's actually like playing a roguelike. Your stuff dies and you go, okay, I'll do it again. This time I'll do it slightly differently, and it's like a new run every time. It's literally the binding of the binding of Koichi.
Yeah, it's incredible. I sincerely believe this deck you're gonna see a lot more of it over the next little period of time. It has a couple matchups where it struggles somewhat depending on how you build it. This particular variant is just fast enough that you can hypothetically avoid some of your terrible times. But my understanding is it has a bad time with those black hybrid nightmare piles that people are playing right now. It has a bad time against Dorigoramon unless you're teching for it, because you need specific, like obviously there are no Shadow Seraphimon aces in here. That's the 1-cost Rihimon, not the dual color Rihimon. So bit of a challenge. And then leaning away from things like Schwarzle Hearts means you can sometimes struggle to clear wide boards. So it's a bit of a kicker. But deeply broken synergy with Ayamako with this deck.
I'm gonna have to pick some up. I'm also going to pick up so many Purple Hybrid.
It's so funny as well. You know, I was just saying about like, oh yeah, we were running like the Shadow Seraphian, like the Black Floodgate in thing. Going back to one of Jess's old decks, real ones know. Beel's Hybrid is how I started playing Purple Hybrid.
Yeah.
So it's like seeing those cards all put together. It's like, time is a flat circle. We are so back. My Koichis are going to get so much use.
People they ran like the secret Beelzemon because it was a level 6 that did double duty sometimes. Like it really is just like this combination is that strong.
BT18 is like kind of a sleeper set for me. You'd think that like the guy that enjoys playing hybrid decks, it's like, whoa, you get all of these. It's it's like hybrid metas are always weird because it's like either you're playing the hybrid deck and then everybody plays counters to the hybrid deck, or you're playing something that's still objectively broken.
You're
Yeah.
playing Takuya or Koji, or you're playing the other ones.
Whoa.
That's tough to say. The red hybrid and blue hybrid are not created equal at the moment. Blue hybrid is a monster. But I will say red hybrid is probably on the mend because the things that it got, like comparing the Magna Garurumon.
If they ban the promo Lobo, it's wraps for blue hybrid. That card is super blue right now.
The Magna Garurumon is not created equal. The Emperor Greymon having blue and green superpowers now is like a deeply broken thing. But
the most broken thing is the black hybrid shit.
Fair.
Black hybrid is genuinely like probably one of the best hybrid decks right now.
Really deviously busted, but
which
it's
is
slow,
crazy
so
because it used
sometimes.
to be the least real one out of all of them. Like we didn't get real black tamers until BT12.
Have you read Mercury? Mercury's effect is like can't return a Digimon to the hand or deck. It's just I can't be bounced.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
And you have Sephiroth as well, which is just like you play something and then you just activate the on plays of your stuff, and you also have taunt, like you have the old Sephiroth or whatever. You just taunt things into ace plays, and you get Shadow Seraphi, and you get Shoto Mother D Reaper. Like
it gets everything.
Also,
the only ways it loses is when its backbone doesn't come together and they don't find Shoto. That's literally the only out. So very frustrating deck. Probably more so in best of one, I would imagine, but one day we'll see how it shakes up here.
I'm excited for like
those hybrids. Like if you guys take anything from our rants about BT18, it's that hybrids are disproportionately better without scrambles. So if you think, oh, it's annoying that Numemon and hybrids are the things, I wanted to play Omnimon DNA or whatever.
I wanted to play Zephygamon.
Yeah, you want to play your starter decks and get really hyped for Liberator cards. They'll get there. I believe in them. But like hybrids and Numemon are probably the way for a little while longer. So
it's like they were like, we'll make Dynas cool. We'll make Lord Knight
they made him
cool.
there.
Oh, let's go.
Like
right, they didn't make Lord Knight cool. I'm not letting you have that.
Okay.
Arcanimon loves that card.
I think that Fist of Athena is a crazy card.
It's a bonkers card.
Insano card. However, we have to, accept the fact that Lord Knight forgot his roots, and
it's so funny he's purple now.
My fallen brother.
He's black.
They had to make one of the Royal Knights consistently purple, and like it makes sense that it was the two bad guys, right?
Like they had the chance to make it purple yellow, right? They had the chance.
I think we're good on purple yellow level 6s, guy.
Just let me have more.
Man. Look, Royal Knights would love a purple yellow level 6 to blast DNA over. Really obnoxious.
Evolve on Nightmon. Make it evolve on Nightmon.
I would have also accepted that. It's just like, please, I picked up shiny. You got me shiny like Lord Knights, and I'll just never use them.
It is rough because like I was trying to goad Marcio and Terry for so long. Oh yeah, you should try and play like yellow, purple Lord Knight. You should use both of them. Like you go wide and you steal memory when they try and play. It's gonna be so cool, bro. And then they went, here's another purple one. I'm like, oh, it's over.
But the option is crazy. That's basically it.
Look, Dynasmon is now carrying the charge. It's fine. It's gonna be great.
What I will say though is that the dual tamer, Takuya and Koji, that card is really messed up, guys.
Stupid broken.
That card is insane.
They're not gonna ban it because it's new and it is not Apocalypse broken. I don't think it's not gonna get hit immediately.
However,
the way it interacts with the other promo warp stuff is just so stupid, and the card is so like the things it does for blue hybrid are so not normal. You have no idea, man.
When I said Evil Marcy was making a return, I'm not lying. If you lose, that's on you, bro. Like I'm chilling. I don't want to work hard. They were like, Marcio, you can't play bugs anymore. Okay, we'll take everything away from you.
GAO.
Yeah, but they have scrambles and She's Ace. That's what I'm saying. They were like, not this time. No fun for you. You go back to blue.
I mean, you could play green hybrid. And with that, I think that concludes our Grand Asia Open coverage. There's like a couple more things I want to talk about today if we're just doing some news stuff. While we look a little closer at the West, because there's obviously a ton of events going on over in Japan and the larger Southeast Asian scene. And I'm going to need you guys to help me find some stuff in a second, but I want to go over a couple events first.
While Tom is finding stuff, very funny that Tiger Vespa has done nothing so far, because that deck is clearly, like, we know that the deck has another half of support for the Royal Base stuff. I don't even think we don't even get winner or win.
They don't have it till BT19.
Yeah, so for us, hopefully they don't freak it up. And Bandai, please give me the deck all at once, okay? That'll be awesome. Thank you.
So I've just dropped in our chat a card market link. I don't often do this because I am vehemently against pretending we're the card market watch guys.
But it is really funny every time.
It is so funny when we do it. Occasionally we make a point of talking about things that people might not be appreciative of. And I want to make a specific point here, talk about Diaboromon. We've talked about it once or twice on the show already. There are other cards on here that you would expect to see on here. Things with hype, things that are already performing, blah, 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 blah. If you don't know what Diaboromon's going to become, it's going to be a real wake-up call for you. Diaboromon has doubled its price in a week.
You're playing Diaboro?
No, it was mail, Dave. I mean, does the second card explain what these are?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are Brad's.
Mr. Bradass getting a pickup.
Oh, you got your stuff from Jamie?
No, I decided to.
Shout out to the card market if they want to sponsor us.
Shout out to the card market. I spent I had £200 of credit on there, and I decided to effectively just pour that out for Harry and Brad. So I got Kosuke's and some Beelzemons and a lot of Diaboromon. So Brad's chilling.
You made a good pickup because it keeps getting more expensive. The thing with Diaboromon at the moment is that if you don't know, it's going to have a little bit of a resurgence. It is strong now off the merit of having some of its pieces be very powerful. And then the things it gets in 17 are just like insulators for a very strong archetype, because it gives it a variety of ways you can interact with the board, something that not a lot of decks get frequently. Like Diaboromon is like infamous for like good Digivolve control at this point. Like if you've not played around the Ace and the inheritable Inframon stuff, like you're gonna get shocked by it. It's very powerful.
If they ever establish both Diaboromons, it's actually wraps. Like
It's
can't
so hard to play.
But the deck is stinky doo-doo bad at playing into any established board because all of their power is on making token and the Digivolve 1.
Yep. Which is why it gets better in 17, because it gets like decent rebuild tools and
it gets another playable level 5. That's
it also gets a really good level 5.
That's the issue with the deck is you get one good level 5 and then you're like, what do I play now?
Yeah,
I guess I can
drop your Edavalks.
Yeah.
Or your Edamon Vikemons.
Meramon, I guess.
I mean, if you play the Edamon, you give yourself a nice yellow target, you generate a shit ton of tokens, and you go back to the days, you just spit out the spiral masquerade.
Good God.
And it's fun.
The thing that I've seen is like Johnny convinced me and Harry that Chimera is actually the way.
It's real.
You pick up the Kurisara that like, which basically you get both Kurisara ESSs on one stack.
Non-once return memory.
Yeah, right? And you go, and one of your level 4s also has play cost reduction because you kill something to reduce its play cost. Yeah. So you raise level 4, slam it for 2, DNA into Chimera, pick up whatever of the ESS you're missing, whether it's give rush or memory.
Or hell, sometimes it's DNA or Digivolve. Sometimes, like straight up. Sometimes it's Digivolve.
Whichever level 4 ESS you're missing, and you just go, okay, I'm going to make like 3 tokens. They'll have Rush and my level 6 costed nothing. Swing for game. GG, bro. Yeah, that was epic.
I'm going to be real, Johnny. I'm telling you this now. If the Chimera is there and it picks 2 of the memory Kurisaris and the Rush one, I'm not scooping, but I will whip out my phone and start recording for the Netflix documentary that comes out after I murder you in the street.
Whoa, you gotta get the girlies engaged. Maybe this is how we build up our female demographic.
Oh my God, Digimon Ted Bundy is so hot. What are we gonna do?
The problem is as well, is Johnny will be just having the time of his life, and I don't want to ruin his fun, but I know he's just not gonna kill me. He's just gonna summon as many tokens.
No. I think current Johnny has learned that he can't play with his food anymore because then he gets randomly cooked by things. So he's been taking his games where he can. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to swing now. He's a new man, modern Johnny.
Johnny
like
Blind.
Sonic. weeks is like upper game, you know the vibes.
Johnny blind drew into Quartzmon one ofs on me twice last Wednesday. It was very fun.
Yeah, he wanted it more than you. He always wants it more.
But I show this off because I wanted
love
to
our
talk about the
locals,
card
man.
market graphics. Because, maybe one day they'll sponsor the pod. But also, there's a lot of information to take in there.
Cherubi Ace!
Yeah, Cherubi Ace, a bunch of stuff to talk about. And all of that is exciting because it more represents a shopping list rather than a metagame. Because here's Play TCG's regional from this weekend. And holy moly, it's bad. There's some real winners in here. I'm going to ask you to not click on anything ahead of time, boys. I need your live reactions to the list.
There was there was one
Don't spoil this. If you know
there was one where Steve Lee, like, the Tyrant one. Did we cover the Tyrant one?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, I think.
Okay. No, literally, like, last weekend or the weekend before that.
Oh, is this PPG? Oh, no, I've got it here. Yeah, we talked about that. It was EX6 Core TCG. This was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or no, it was last week.
Lee. Shout out to Steve Lee, the GOAT. Green King.
So we're going to talk about it. We kind of said before we started recording that the way the format has shaken out is Demon Lords is a really relevant meta force, but not necessarily in the winning department, more in the gatekeeping department. So we were kind of on the sort of ballpark with that. I want to talk about its effect on blue. Specifically, Mirage is kind of at a low because Demon Lords was grown in a lab to make Mirage not have a good time.
Thank God.
However,
so sick and tired of the blue dog, even though it won.
It won because on the day sometimes you'll dodge the Demon Lords and you'll have a format for it.
Is it playing the fish?
No, it's also on the Biomon. I want to point out, this is the first time I've seen somebody technically make the correct adaptation and play the optimal jamming run.
Yes, the BU is better than the Madoka because it has a blocker, so in a pinch you have a 1k blocker.
Yeah. So a couple things to go through here. It's a very standard Mirage list. I don't even believe. Let me pull the one I had looked that up before. The extent to the weirdness these days is it's on full moon. But again, I don't want to detract from Noah's win. Noah Danes, congratulations on your win. Well done. Play TCG do a great job posting their data promptly. So we appreciate
is that Gaia Force Tyler?
Yeah,
on
I believe it is.
Yes.
And he's playing Quartz. If you scroll down, he adapted. Yep, he's on the Rapid Quartz deck for the mirror.
Yep. So, this is where we have to talk about.
Also, Cherubi, what the hell?
I think it's so you can have the Rapid and the Quartz as two separate stacks. So you etta Cherubi, and then your second stack makes Rapid, so that way you lock everything down and then -4 everything in one go, because obviously you're giving up the shrink if you go into the Quartz over the Rapid.
He's playing one of the yellow Garymons as well, which you can spit out off the Cherubi, right?
Yes, the Garymon has been picking up more and more and more.
It's like a great combination with Cherubi Ace.
It's also the fact that you have a way to proc sec -1, so against things that would normally OTK you, or say for example, in a world where Gallantmon, deletes your guy or whatever, you spit out a Gary and it can always give sec -1 so they can never go for game. It really punishes blue unsuspend decks.
Yeah, it's a big deal. The other thing Garymon does in combination with Cherubimon Ace is when you Edavon Valks, or when you don't Valk, you add a Cherubi somebody, you don't have to block the oncoming attack. You can just let it do nothing at security and die, which is very powerful off the Garymon. So, big fan of that adaptation. Tyler's he's an NA legend, right? We don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to really introduce that. That's not more to be said than that.
On the next video, for content creators, Tyler did well, and then the two purple hybrid lists that we showed were both content creators as well. So
everybody,
DigiDread, he summoned all of us. We're all doing well now.
We got to talk about a couple things on here though. So it's an NA event.
We do not need
blue flare topped. It's different.
No.
It's different. It's different. It's not playing the same red cards. Playing some of the red cards. But it's an adaptation that we saw in Japan that I legit never saw here, and I'm very happy to finally see. I know, so we have to talk about it because Cyberdramon is here, and he previously went on a top 10 least playable cards of all time video we put out. So I formally apologize. Andrew and I are meta manipulating lie peddlers, and we don't know what we're talking about. Because if you can get top 8 with Cyberdramon,
that's a joke.
Yeah, if you can get shows the point. Meta manipulator.
What up?
I think we put it at the worst all time. No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's not true. Grey Knightsmon.
Yes.
Grey Knightsmon's worse. But otherwise.
No, Grey Knightsmon
that's not
was
in here.
Black video, wasn't he? I think
he
got an honorable mention. Maybe Cyberdramon was on the.
Why didn't you guys just look at like any of the like old Zudos? They all sucked.
We just tried not to use like Garbo vanillas, and I
Okay.
legit believe Cyberdramon is worse than the other Zudo.
Did you put Gesso in like one of the better ones? Gesso's crazy.
If you want to answer to that question, you can join the KnTElixar YouTube channel membership. Champions and higher get access to Boko early, so you should do that.
Yeah, you can see us
The
playing
video's public
Cyberdramon.
now.
Yeah, the video is public. So if you want to see
cringe.
the
Anyway.
other 2 videos,
Okay,
and the
we
one
want. Okay, let's get to the War
I gotta go
Greymon.
through this quick because we're gonna have to go
Yes.
through this. So
War Greymon.
War Greymon is an adaptation in here that you don't see a ton of because part of what makes this interesting is that it's a way to get like consistent value out of Cyber Launcher because you can go Armor Purge over your 5. If it lives, you can make something bigger with like Raid Piercing. So it's very offensive. Like you have more options to fight with the board this way. And then like just additional unsuspends is kind of stupid. So like there are ways to squeak out more damage here. This is essentially a like more OTK blue hybrid, or sorry, blue.
Yay.
So it does matter. Some things we've talked about a couple times in here that have popped back up. Louis, as always, being a great adaptation. There are fewer Ukomons in this than previously. Gaussmon making his return to the archetype is something you'd hope to see. So I'm glad that. Well, I'm as glad as you can be to see Ukomon propping something else up. But
It's like it's blue flare, and notice how like the more red cards blue flare adds to their deck, the better they'll do. It's almost like there's a problem that needs to be addressed.
I just can't fathom the Cyber.
Also, we're
Demon.
getting
That's me
the
deeply.
boost. We're getting
we are.
the blue red boost.
Yeah,
He
my
said we would
Galaxy.
put that evil out in the world. Yeah,
Well, there it is. Mercio airing the candle, but yeah, play Wisterium and boost in Blue Flare or something. That's it. I don't want to talk about Blue Flare any longer. Again, I never want to be the guy that detracts from a dope run. So again, congratulations to Kevin Valley. Good work on getting
I think it's
7th.
Let's get to the juice. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. The real,
we
the real.
we
side of
gotta
the show.
we gotta talk about the Dorbikmon deck.
Yes, there we go.
11th
It's so
place,
when you
one
click
shot.
on this, let me preface this. It's the most
Oh, what the fuck?
it's demented. Stop, scroll so slowly. So slowly. You aren't going to be able to guess what the bottom of this deck looks like.
It's on screen.
No, the bottom of the deck.
Wait, stop. Is it like Alice?
Alice is a good guess. You want to guess, Andrew? You want to guess, Terry?
It's like AG Dormic.
Because this is. I just want to be so clear. This is black base Dorbikmon.
Yeah, I'm
What?
trying to
What
think.
gives you rush?
Hold on, you're getting.
Oh no,
there.
he has rush. Yeah, he has rush.
Rio? I don't fucking know.
Whoa! Why is it not Greymon at 4?
It's probably the wrong one.
Yeah, I think
Whoa!
we mixed up the ratios.
That's actually
around.
what he did. He cheated.
Oh, that would explain it.
Okay, you make okay.
It's Oriyumon Wall plus end of turn Dorbic fusion.
Who's your end of turn?
Vmon from BT12.
Oh wait, how are you loading it?
He just digicrossed.
You
it.
just digicross. He's a dragon.
Yeah,
Oh,
mini
he's a mini dragon. Okay.
Yeah, remember he was in Stunbrick for that reason.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. The
very
Double
messed up.
Greymon, suspicious alert. Wee woo.
I'm assuming it's supposed to be 3
Okay, but
of
what-
the other one and
What
one of
other
the
Double Greymon would you play?
Oh, the other one, yeah.
No, because
The BT13 one.
okay, but then the ratios still don't work out because if you're playing
This
the
was-
Goro one,
It's probably an input, like some sort of messed up input thing.
I'm assuming at some point someone would have seen. Wait a minute, you have.
it's NA, man. Look, they might have been distracted by
just a webcam event?
current events that are
My
There's some
favorite
stuff
part
going on
about
over
this-
there.
My favorite part about this is like it's the pretending you're gonna try to like block with the one Dark Tyrannomon just in case.
just in
I just
case.
love- Just in case.
So
I mean-
I want to go over a couple things in this list because it does look like psychotic soup. But
It's a funny list.
ostensibly it is really Oriyumon the Wall the deck. But it has a couple things that it gets to
Metal
do.
Cannon.
Metal Cannon
That's
for
the
card
best
draw. We're back.
spell.
People know. It abuses Mind Link and Dorimon and Dorumon. So there are
yeah,
parts
that's
it's X antibody good soup, but this is the most like if you thought Alphamon stalling you while it did that was annoying, now it does it with Ragnarlord Burn Security.
that's
So-
because Oreo has tempo, right? Like you between the dex lines giving you like pops, Oriyumon pops it and like it's in a movable like object, like legit Orumon effect can be deleted plus Dorumon by loading
Yep.
Kosuke. You just can be removed. Like, there are so little outs to your strategy, exactly like D-Digivolve.
Yeah.
And then you go, next turn you'll go, yeah, I'll Metal Cannon and draw like 10?
Yeah. It is pretty dumb.
Is the Hagormon just there as just the inheritable? Like,
Which one, sorry? The Haguru.
Like,
Oh, it's because it's a Black X antibody
Yeah.
that Kosuke can mind link
That's
to.
correct. It's the next Dorumon.
That's the only reason.
It's also a cyborg, so in some cases, people playing the cyborg synergy stuff can do it with that as well.
But yeah,
It
it's
does
legit
also
a
play
rookie
as
that
though-
you can mind link with Kosuke.
Shoutouts to Harry on his what's it called? Evo Cup run in NA where he picked this up because he hadn't got all his Dorumons yet. So we scripted this out of our bulk and he placed. Very cool. So yeah, a couple things to go through before we move on. Obviously, Andrew loves to talk about how it's hype that Ragna's been gatekeeping, but if you had told me that this would be Ragna's thus far highest placement, I would have laughed. But here we are watching it.
Seeing that it was this, as soon as it was Dorbeck, I'm like, well, he's gonna be on some sort of weird way of making Ragnar.
It's such a shame. The Dorbeck almost gives away the joke, which is that it's really Orumon.
Yeah, I mean, Blackwell Grey was doing this for a while, where they would just make
back when that was
Ultimate
well, it was it was Ulti Cup. I lost to that in bracket actually. That was a fun
Many
one.
people lost to it. It won several.
But the like adaptation that this has is that like it is the like new threshold for like protection, and it can get big enough to just tell Magnus to stop. So very, very important.
Like, I look at this and just go, right, well, first, why?
It is
Then
a real niche.
Then why again?
There's a couple of cards I really want to highlight here. I love the 1-cost Dark Tyrannomon and the Greymon that kind of returns its memory down the line. Both of those cards are kind of wild. Part of what makes it stupid is that Orumon can, when Digivolving, load the SOC Doru Greymon, and then you're just getting your parts for like spitting out little SOC bodies or little X antibody bodies. So you can produce more like Jinryu. The like level 4 dual color Jinryu is an on-play blocker that suspends something.
Bring up the Greymon again.
Which one? SOC one?
The SOC. What's the...
When this Digimon deletes another Digimon,
okay, so
it
counts off of Ori, so you get immediate value.
Yeah,
Also,
it counts off anything. It's an SOC tradable thing.
Well. Your on-play Dorbeck is going to,
that is correct.
13k or whatever, and then you're going to spit out a body for free, which, like, if it's the Jinryu, it spits out and suspends the one blocker that's stopping you from going Lamau for game.
Yep. A lot of silly stuff you can do with this.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It works
just like
hard.
We can't show Harry this because he will try it. He's stupid enough to.
Derek, this.
Derek would be but no. This evolves. That we're fine. Derek will not play a deck that evolves.
He played Evolved
so,
Machine
like,
Dramon,
Marcio, you remember Marcio? Remember today when I talked about the memory gauge the room topic I'd like to discuss? This is the stuff that I talk about. So in my mind, like, right, I feel it's better to build for high roll than consistency in the Digimon TCG. And it just feels that I look at stuff like this and I go, yep, nah, I could. Do I want to play? Nah, I just want to sack my opponent. If I see the one of pieces I need, I'm not saying that he also doesn't have consistency pieces, but I just look at this and go, that man hit the one of Vmon every time, and you know he's just burning them for him. It's just happening.
I think that's the stupid thing, is that like the Digicross end of turn DNA Dorbeck is only one way to do this. Like, it has options, which is dumb.
It's always the end of turn Dorbeck Ragnar. That shell is messed up, and people find ways to break it.
It's a 5-card package in this list, and if you didn't think this deck would draw into 5 cards, I have bad news for you.
Metal Cannon for 2 cost. Oh, the game's over. Whoops.
Oh boy, if they really wanted to.
Yeah, very stupid.
I'm surprised that they just didn't.
But it's a dope deck. It's a cool thing to see an adaptation of it. I almost wonder if maybe it was poorly categorized and we could have really gotten some great clickbait on Eggman events. But that's how it goes. Congratulations to Alec Blanchett. Well done. You've done some devious
I want to say the name is familiar. I think Alec was playing back in like Black or Grey format, was also on Dorbeck. I might be wrong. If these videos do tend to reach the people, and the people we talk about do tend to see them. If I'm right on that, and Alec is the one that like Dorbeckmon's strongest soldier, and he was playing it in Black or Grey at Nats, then cool. It's cool to see that he's just testing every color of the rainbow.
Are we going to talk about Gaslight Gatekeep, Ragnar, Blastace?
I am trying to find the PPG results. They are not on Eggman.
What, from
events,
the
so I'm
winner case yesterday?
yeah. So I need to dig them up.
Go on their website, maybe?
Yeah, the website. You
Dude,
mean
they don't even
Facebook
have
page?
their like Twitch VODs non-sub only.
So I'm working it out. I would love to try and find that, but if we can't, I will find something else. That is, by and large, the hiccup. Obviously, this is a fun time for us to make a point of saying that, hey, TOs, we'd love to talk about your events. If you get them out there, obviously, it doesn't always have to come down to Risu the Squirrel being the archivist of the Digimon TCG and collecting everything he can get his hands on. But it would be a big help. Yeah, just push it out. Get it out there to us. That would be a big help.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't have it on their website. They have like the sign up page for yesterday, and then tournament results only talks about the One Piece one. So that'll probably be like a Friday thing where we can go over Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss, that is Ragnar.
Blastace, 6 foot, finance.
That was a good one. I liked that joke.
What's the rest of the
Trust fund, 6 foot,
looking for
blue
a
eye,
guy
finance.
6'5", blue eyes.
We've dated it forever. Good job, gentlemen.
Ragnar is a trust fund deck.
Ragnar is a
You can't
trust
afford
fund
those. You
deck.
can't afford those legend arms if you're broke.
The promo Zubamon gatekeeps.
I didn't
How
do.
tall is Ragnarlord? Is he like, you know how like sometimes
60.
Digimon are like kaijus and other times they're
If you're
like,
going to get level 7,
No, son, he's gonna be like 5 foot.
I know. So that's the thing.
Insane value.
His two dads, Durandamon and Bryway Ludramon. Bryway is like 50 feet tall, and
Yeah, he's
Durandamon's like he's like a short king, and like all of that went to Ragnar.
he's like a Be the Man. Do you guys remember Be the Man? The little like guys that
Wow.
like shoot.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Ragnar.
I don't think anyone under the age of I'm trying to
That'd be
think.
little cobalt plate action.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
believe
incredible.
that Biederman, Bakugan, and Beyblade have been uttered today in.
Your Beyblade pilled today. I
have.
watched the video. It was
It's
good,
really
but
good.
maybe Misplay does a Beyblade event one time. That'd be fun.
The second Misplay for game case tournament, if you're on table 1, you're not playing RPS for going first.
Oh, we do a Beyblade side event.
Everything's of it, man. I want to post out the beat 'em out. I love them. I love them so much. Just go.
Harry is the most like children's like toy anime like pilled guy. He knows about fucking Metabot and Beat 'em
yeah.
Oh, the beautiful.
Hell yeah, dude. We should.
And,
There's
like,
an alternate.
What's
There's
the
an alternate
one with
universe.
like? What's the one with like the little things that like they're like tiny hourglasses shaped thing, and you'd like
Monsuno.
Monsuno, yeah, the hair guy.
Oh, Locke.
God.
Oh, Locke was the big bear. Such beautiful.
If there's like a shitty like toy anime, like Terry knows about it, but he
That's
probably
cool.
won't watch the good ones, like the Gundam one.
Which
Gundam Build.
Oh, good. Oh, Gundam Build is cool.
Maybe.
I thought you were-
Yeah, see, maybe the good one. You're like, ah.
I thought you were talking about.
You mean Monsuno, but like Metabots is great. Speaking of which, I do want them to eventually bring like the gag. Was it Omedamon? Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Omnimon out of Rakusho and Metabe. Perfect card game time.
What's
I
next?
think
We're gonna hold a Redakai case tournament.
I would love to see Metabot Omnimon show up, but I do actually fear the idea that that slippery slope gives us Atmon. I'm a fake Digimon fan, guys. I would do anything to keep Atmon out of my TCG.
No, I want it to be like a DNA between like a level 4 cyborg and a level 4 insect type, just for the sort of like a machine thing.
It
just
would
for
be
the
like a
memes.
weird Digicross card.
Yeah.
Narrowcast it. Yeah, maybe they're all options.
Bro,
all the
imagine
all the
Digicrossing your
Atmons are
level
delay
7.
options. Ugh.
Yeah,
I love nostalgia.
Yeah, that's hype. We got, you know what, fellas? That just about rounds out an hour. I cannot find the PPG events, which is a shame. But for these pre-recorded ones, sometimes life kicks you in the nuts like that.
Yes, Friday's one will be pre-recorded and it will premiere the usual podcast time. This one's coming out tomorrow from the time of recording. So, yeah, Daily Digimon continues and all that fun stuff. there should be another Lethal Living that's coming out, and people have started sending me Lethal Living clips. So maybe
Beautiful.
Lethal
Love
Living
that.
live.
Love to
If you wanna
hear it. Love to
play
see it.
live. If you want to, maybe get your clip featured at the live event, please send them. Like, it'll be again pinned. Like the pinned comment's gonna be like 15 things that you just need to click on. But send me clips, please.
If you have never registered for an event on Limitless, this is not or perhaps you've played a lot of Digicord events and you aren't sure how this works. It's not just online. You'll find us. We're just actually called Misplay for Game on Limitless. The links are always in Andrew's stuff. You'll know where to look, and then you can check the posts and Twitters and things. But please come to the event. We've worked really hard on getting this rolling, and event cancellations and venues and things aside, nobody keeps baby in the corner for long. So we will get this thing to you, and ideally we will tactically not go super minus.
If you don't want me to walk out of my own event with free boxes because my roommate won, you know what to do. Show up. If I pull a Ghost Ragna, I know just who to go to. I'm just saying. Ghost Master Terry is going to be on shaved ice for breakfast.
You gotta go to Josh for that one, my guy. That's just not happening.
He does have one already.
Cherubi SP.
He's got two now.
Cherubi SP, unlucky, Roy. I have to give that one to Emily. Maybe. Or Tommy Tricks, recurring guest. I can make some bank off of him too.
And if you want to make bank with Digimon, come to our cave
with a really sad face.
She can't have them all.
I would give you the Truvia. I already gave him fucking Zaffiga because
you're cooked.
Tiger Vespa. Okay, to be fair, Tiger Vespa came out around the same time.
You're saving your karma. I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, come to the event.
Come to our event, please. It's on Limitless. It's in the comments. We want to do all that good stuff. We haven't plugged the TikTok in a couple weeks. I went back and watched last week's. Check out Misplay for Game Pod on TikTok. We do clips on there. Listen, if you're in North America, I want to say we know TikTok's going down soon, so it's also good to follow the three of us core host guys on Twitter, or X, if you're like that. I'm no judgment. Well, some judgment. It's KBeeDS, it's the TommyNT, or it's actually, am I just TommyNT? What's my Twitter?
You're the
it doesn't matter. And it's KnTElixar. You can find us on there. Terry, you got anything you want to plug?
Oh,
BGSC.
Yeah, so with Liam moving back soon, we're hopefully trying to revive the PGSC channel. You may have seen a couple of videos on there, one being, I think, like Sakuyamon and Sylphimon. Hopefully there should be a Mastermon profile coming out pretty soon, and eventually, hopefully before BT17, we'll be doing like a Sakuyamon masterclass. Or a video.
It will, like, I'll do the thing where I at PGSC in like the YouTube thing for this. So either in the description or the title, you'll have a direct link.
It's incredibly self-fueling. It's incredibly self-fueling because people will ask whether any gameplay video. It'll like just go here.
Go to the other one.
PGSC revival.
So I'll try to do the rest. But mainly what I've learned is also by the next time I'm buying camera, hopefully I got a haircut because it's now really annoying me.
I feel
that's so real.
I'll bring the tripod so I'm not just there like I'm fucking like shaking after like a hard day of morning work. I'm joking. We don't do that much at work.
We do a lot of work.
We do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we want to do a lot of work on our Twitter as well. We will actually get back to posting.
I'm sorry. I've been moving. Shit's hard. I'll get on it. It's my fault.
Yeah, some of it is also like I didn't go and look for the login and stuff. But yeah, we'll get back to posting weekly things. You will be seeing all of the artworks that the artists did posted on their Twitters and retweeted here. So if you want to just keep up with like what the podcast is doing, what Manchester Digimon in general is doing.
Marcy, you're gonna win something with the B deck, so we can post that on here, right? It just occurred to me.
I mean, I'll play it. It's okay.
It's gonna get more cards. Liberator's gonna go on for years.
We can do a separate video about like future decks we're excited to play or whatever.
I can't believe that they keep printing. Like you told me last year that the color that keeps getting new decks that I go ooh at is green. I don't lie. Like there's just no way. But like green only has had bangers this year. Like all their new archetypes are really cool.
I'm legit going to pin a message right now, and we should make a podcast, like side episode or whatever. That's like, what decks are we excited to play, and we just cover from now until like EX7. We can show people skeletons and stuff, and just be like,
My God.
Oh,
I have so many versions of things. You guys are gonna have to hear me talk about.
You don't get
4 different-
versions. You don't
So
get
you guys are gonna
versions.
have to
You
hear
get
me.
deck. You get one deck per
Okay, that's
archetype.
cool. I got 3 mill decks lying around.
No, well, you get one archetype. You get like one Gallantmon deck, one Mill deck, one Pulsemon deck. No versions. There's no versions.
I have multiple mill archetypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, bro. You're gonna play Gallant.
I'm tight like that. I am. Yeah, I'm so excited. They did the English reveals today as of time of recording, so I was like, oh, it's real. I'm gonna be. Hope I'm moving somewhere cheaper.
Yeah. Hopefully very close to me, because then there'll be so much Digimon, bro.
So much content.
When
We
I
just
can
start
record
filming
this
batches over the
episode,
weekend.
When I can
Andrew would be
record-
able to just Andrew will just be able to like
Put out the bat
travel-
signal. We show up at night.
yeah. It will be like, okay, everybody's in. We flash the bat signal, and he like walks for like half an hour, and he makes it to my house.
Oh, no,
This is the
not
trade-off,
half
though,
an hour, you're
Marcio.
coming
It's
to me.
in-person.
If Marcio if Tom gets a place across the road from me, I'm gonna walk into Sophie's room and use like the little thing. I'm gonna shine his window, like, wake up. I need to test this 50.
So eventually, what we're saying is the first in-person Misplay for Game podcast episode is happening pretty soon.
You're kind of cooking.
You're kind of cooking, actually. One of the places I've been looking at today. No, this is not really Digimon content, but I feel like how many episodes are we in now? The
This is
pre-recorded
episode
ones.
20. Unfortunately, like we kept.
Oh
talking
my
about-
God!
We kept talking about like 20 is when we're finally gonna get our act together with guests.
Look, well,
No.
I would have picked Terry out of most of my choices.
I
to
just
be
mean,
honest,
like,
I just
we're
wanted
gonna-
to show him the Sakuyamon.
That was meant to be like a permanent member.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
when
true.
we like start going for like American guests, we're gonna like book them in several weeks in advance. We have not started. with
Hey,
that.
listen, in case this is the last batch of the pre-recorded episodes that we do, and you guys don't hear from me like live in any capacity on the internet, I'm like putting the vibes out there that I would like to get East on the show. I'm gonna be in Tokyo in a couple weeks, so life is good, and I'll pay for the what's it called, the web cafe time, and we'll do the show there.
You said web. I thought you were gonna say wet cafe. I was like, whoa.
Oh, sorry, no, that's the Capybara Cafe. I'm going to that
Okay.
as well. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. Moving and going to the trip. I don't know what came over us.
Yeah, and we did.
Guys,
the
you can have a
FaceTime.
normal Digimon fall. I swear to God, misplay for game, but only the game. No longer misplay for major life decisions. We've rambled for a while. Please go to our tournament. Please go support
Wait,
PGSD
hold on.
on
Terry,
YouTube.
Terry had a thought, and I think it was gonna be a good one.
Was it gonna be a hit? I'm sorry, I
It's
talked
not
over
a
him.
good thought. Look, you got your hosts are showing personality. You gotta show them every bit of your life, the chaos, the beauty. This is how you get repeat viewers, my guys. You're all great characters, and that's why everyone has to come support you at the case tournament.
What a
Exactly.
segue! He does it like that, folks. Yeah. So, youtube.com/PGSC. Is that right? That's probably right. I should.
Yeah, you
really-
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know where to go. Andrew will put it in the thing. Check the descriptions. Check us out on Limitless. You can also find Misplay for Game as a tournament organizer. Would be a big help. We're going to set things up as series so that you can have us running more frequently, provided this all takes off.
The next
So
one, we
please
will
keep
give
us in
you-
mind.
We will give you a real amount of time.
Yeah, it won't. We probably will announce the format. We'll do it in many formats ahead of time.
Yeah,
So
we've learned a lot about organizing this time that we'll take. But I mean, hey, if Ireland are coming over and you're in the UK and you're like, damn, bro, it's a bit far travel. Depending on who you are and what part of Ireland they're from, that's a different country they came.
Me
So
and
US
Marcio
map.
came from a distance a lot bigger than the Irish Sea, so people really have no excuse at all. But yeah, that's the vibe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Please come to our tournament. Please come to our
Goodbye.
tournament.
And if you're
See you
if you're a
later.
member, you will get a discount if you're a rookie or above. And if you're a champion, you're gonna get to see the thing we're about to record directly after this, a whole month early. Yellow cards of all time with yellow expert of all time. Marcio won't be there. He will start being here from episode 21.
He's
bonus
waving because
content.
he is leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Baba Booey.
Baba booey.